morning, welcome back to my channel. My name is Karina. This is Imperfectly Chavez, and I am driving. I just dropped my son off from school, and today's video is gonna be a crazy one. Today's video is gonna be a hard video to make, and it's gonna be a very real and very sad and scary and depressing video. I don't mean to bring any type of negativity into this channel at all, and it's not my intention at all. But what I am gonna do on this channel is be realistic, honest, and try my hardest to spread awareness about certain things that are happening and that are real and that are very, 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 very real in this society nowadays. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you like our videos. And if this is the first time you've seen one of our videos, like I said, my name is Karina. I usually kind of, you know, do little things with my husband here and there, but today's video I'm not gonna be he might be, you know, in the video later on if I ask him, when I ask him a couple questions about what I'm gonna talk about. But definitely this is more a video about my personal experience. Yeah, so if you want to keep watching and you want to find out what I'm talking about, then stay tuned. So let's just start in the beginning. I was born and raised in Southern California. I am from LA County, about 20 miles from LA. It's about an hour drive with traffic, with like crazy traffic from LA. It's on the outskirts of LA. It's on the 60 freeway. I don't know if you're familiar with the LA area, but I'm from a town called La Puente. Born and raised. I love where I'm from. I love my hometown. My aunt that we lived with my whole entire life still lives there, and we go and stop. That's our stopping ground. That's our home. So I'm from there. I was born into a teenage couple. My mom was 15, my dad was 18. I remember being a little girl, and I remember living in a little room, like in a garage. I just remember flashbacks of that. We lived there in El Monte. Actually, I was born in South El Monte Hospital, but I was raised in La Puente from the age of 2 to the age of 12. And we moved shortly after my 12th birthday to Northern California, up here. I live in the Modesto area. Yeah, we moved here. After that, my sister was born about almost 3 years after I was. Her name is Cynthia, and then my little brother was born when I was 10. He is 16 now, and my youngest sister, she was born when I was about 12. I actually turned 12 and she was born a couple weeks later. She's 14 now. Our life got uprooted and we moved here. So at the time that we moved here, my parents weren't really doing too good. My parents always had drama happening and always had tension between them that I could feel. Like as a kid, you could totally feel when something's not right, and that was how we lived in our home. And it's kind of not embarrassing to talk about, but it sucks, you know. And by no means do I think that everyone else's family is perfect. I know that every single family goes through things, and every situation has its own problems. Everybody goes through things. So I don't ever think, oh, my life sucked and everyone else's was great. Like, no. I see people from every what is it called, raised so differently, with money, without money. We were well. My mom always took care of us. We always had a clean home, always had food, always had clothes, always were taken care of. I knew my dad had a drinking problem from a very young age, and I knew that it was a demon that he couldn't fight, something that always took over his life, and unfortunately it really just took it over completely to this day. So I wasn't raised the rest of my childhood in Modesto, but in the outskirts here, the towns around here, we were raised in a little tiny town, and it was an awesome town. I loved it from the moment that I moved here. I loved it. The only not weird, but to me was weird because I come from Southern California, okay? I was born and raised with around Mexicans, Asians, just like every type of person. I was raised around every type of race and just in a diverse city. And then I moved here and there's like 80% white people. Well, at the time that I moved here, when I was in 7th grade, there was like, I felt like 80% white people, which I thought was super strange because I'd never seen so many people with blonde hair in my entire life. I was like, oh my goodness, everybody's white here. But anyways, I got used to that real quick. Actually, the first people I ever met here was my friend Emily. I don't want to say her last name, but my friend Emily, and you know who you are because I know you watched our last video because you commented. But my friend Emily, and then my friend Kara. I haven't talked to Kara in so long, but I remember that they were best friends, and I remember being so scared. These two white girls come, and they're so nice. They were so nice to me, and it was so cool because I was like, oh my gosh, I have two white friends. I felt so weird because I never had white friends before. But anyways, that's like off topic, but I loved it here ever since I moved here, and it was just awesome to be somewhere different. I thought I was gonna hate it, but I ended up loving it here. And from the age of 12 to the age of 14, that's when the most traumatic stuff happened to me in my life. And also being in a new place, at the same time going through that stuff at home, at the same time not telling my mom, at the same time my parents were having really hard times. My dad's alcoholism contributed to most of the problems that we had. I would call it a cowardly alcoholic, because whenever he would get drunk is when he would hurt people, and he would physically hurt my mom, and he would sexually hurt me. So I don't know, it's something really hard, but I just wanted to share my story because I know that a lot of people go through this, and a lot of people hide it forever and never say anything, and it literally builds in their soul and their heart their whole life. And these people that hold it in, I can't imagine what they go through when they have no one else. They have no one to support them, no one to be there for them, no one to hug them and hold them and tell them everything's gonna be okay, tell them don't be afraid and don't be scared. But yeah, so I remember being 12, and I remember feeling scared and feeling like I was scared to like get out of my room, and scared to go even to the bathroom, or wear shorts, or not wear a bra, or I don't know, just wear tight clothes, or because I felt weird. I had a weird vibe that I knew that I should not feel from a parent. And I'm not going to say parent, I'm going to say dad. I just don't like to say dad. I don't like the word dad because I feel like I've never had a dad, because that's not a dad. That's a predator. And I don't want to say parent, because I don't want anyone to have a misconception. It was my dad. My mother, she was such a good mom, and she's still a great mom. She's my best friend, honestly. And she did the best that she could. My mom, like I said, had me at 15. She dropped out, never went to high school, had to be taken care of by a kid that had problems since the very beginning. Now that I'm 26 years old, I've learned things that are totally fine for me to learn, because I had to come to terms with the fact that I was never gonna have a normal perception of a father. So anything my mom has ever told me from my adulthood to now, it's totally fine. I can totally live with the truth. And my mom's always been abused by my dad ever since she was pregnant with me, and that doesn't surprise me, and also has to do with his drinking from that very early age of 18, 19. So I don't know, I just think it's a curse. When you have alcohol problems, it just affects everyone around you, and it can literally destroy a family. And that's exactly what happened in my case. It's sad because I look at girls and I see them with their dads, and I'm not jealous, but I just feel like they sometimes don't realize how lucky they are. I just think, like, wow, like, she doesn't even know how lucky she is. Or maybe I don't know what's really going on behind closed doors. But I feel like sometimes, especially when I see girls that are being mean to their parents and mean to their dads, and be like, oh, he's so annoying or something. Like, people don't realize how lucky they are to just have a normal parent, because there's some people that just don't have that. And I'll never know what it's like to have a little daddy-daughter, daddy's little girl relationship, because ever since I was a little kid, I always felt like there was something off and something wrong, or something that just didn't let me ever feel comfortable around my dad. And I knew that sitting on my dad's lap just didn't feel right, and I just knew that there was no way that the way he would look at me was normal. Like, so yeah, girls and guys, if you have parents that have never done this kind of thing to you, and that are always on your case and are telling you things to protect you and trying to be there for you, appreciate that, because there's some people that don't have that, and that wish that they did. And I don't have any resentment, like, for people, or any jealousy for people that have a dad. I actually just love watching that type of relationship, because it's just beautiful to see. And it's like, wow, like, what must that feel like to have like a daddy? Like, it just sucks that was robbed from me, but you know, that's life, people. It's not fair, you know. And that's why I'm just so happy that God blessed me with a daughter, because now I can see that relationship flourish with Rick, and I'm just so excited to see that. And yeah, so the first times that this started happening was around the age of 12. My dad was drunk, and I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation where a drunk person tries to, like, sloppily just get at you, or try to come on to you, or like try to kiss you, or try to like grab you or something, and you can get away, and you could just be like, get off of me, you freak, or something. But like, when you're 12 years old and it's a grown man and it's your father and it's in your home and you can't do anything and your mom's not there and you don't want to scare your brother and your sisters and you don't want to, you don't know what to do. It's like, you feel like so trapped. Like, you feel like there's no way to get out of a situation. You feel like tormented and traumatized and disgusted and in so much unbelief. And then you start to think, how can God be real? Like, how can God be real if this is happening to me? Or you think like, when your parent tries to drag you to church and he's sitting there and you're just like, you start hating, you start building this hate in your heart, and you start thinking like, this world is so fake, this world is so not real. Like, what is there to believe now? Like, how can you even trust anything or believe anyone? Like, it makes you literally lose faith in like humanity, you know. And I had to learn over the course of 14 years how to regain hope and faith and trust in certain people, because I don't trust anybody, and the only people that I do trust is my closest people around me, like my mother-in-law, my mom, my husband, my siblings. I just don't trust anyone, and I don't even leave my kids with anyone. I don't ever leave my kids with anyone. And I always tell my kids, if anybody ever touches you anywhere, you need to tell me, or nobody can touch you and nobody can, you know, touch you and make you feel any type of way. Nobody's allowed to put their hands on you. And same thing I tell my kids, you better never touch anybody without their permission, and not until you're old enough to drive and old enough to work and old enough to be married. I said, you can never kiss anyone without permission. You can't touch anybody, because I would never want my children to be accused or to be misled, or I don't even know how to process that yet. But I don't want this cycle to ever continue in any way, shape, or form, whether it be you know, victim or victimizer, ever. And I try my best to do the best that I can, but it's very hard. And yeah, so yeah, it's you know, there was a few things that I never told my husband that he knows now that I went through. And I was able to build the courage to release everything else that happened. As far as what my dad did, there was a situation one time where I walked into my room as a child. I was about 13 maybe, and I barged into my room because it was my room, and I walked in, and this person, my dad, was watching a video on my computer that he shouldn't have been watching, especially in my room. And I walked in and I was like, ugh, like, what the hell? Like, and I tried to run out of my room as quick as I possibly could. And he shut the door and held me against the door to like not run out. And it was disgusting, and I'll never get this mental, like, what is it called? It's like a movie in my mind that will never fade, of him just being disgusting. I don't even want to say it because it's so disgusting. Just like telling me like, this is what a real man looks like. And I was like, no, like, this is not a real man. Like, you're disgusting. You're a disgusting pig. In my mind, I totally lost respect for my dad from that point on to this day. No, that's not a man. Like, I don't know what the hell you think you are, but definitely a man is not what you are. So, yeah, it was just disgusting. And I finally was able to tell my mom when I was 14. My husband, he's the one, I was with him at 14, and I told him what happened to me, and he told me, like, you need to tell someone, like, you need to tell your mom, and if you don't tell your mom, I'm gonna tell your mom. So I told my mom. And also when I told my mom, I told my little sister, and she was in middle school, and then she told one of her friends, and I acted like I was mad, but I was hoping desperately that something would happen. And she told one of the school administrators, and they called the police, and the police went to my school. I was trying out for cheerleading, and the police showed up at my tryouts, and by the way, totally traumatized me, where I didn't even make the team. And I want to act like I suck so bad, but honestly, like, I think I was just so, like, distraught that I couldn't focus on anything that they were trying to teach, and fucking ruined that shit for me. I was so excited to be a little cheerleader, and it still makes me mad to this day that I was so excited to just do that, because when I lived in LA, I was a cheerleader in 6th grade. It's not a big deal, whatever, but like, I was excited to do something here because I was too short to play volleyball because all these girls were so damn good. But anyways, they came there, and I had to lie. I literally had to lie and say that it didn't happen, and knowing damn well that I had the perfect chance to hold this person accountable, but I couldn't because I was afraid. And it sucks because he went and told my grandma that story that I told the police, and I lied to them because I was trying to protect my family, and that's not fair. How can you put that on a child? Anyways, unfortunately, another person in my family came forward and said that they were molested by another family member, and that person in my family that confessed to being molested, she was brave enough to file a police report, and that person is in jail today on $1 million bail. That person will not be getting out of there, and this person needs to be held accountable. So that same day, I also filed a police report and said that this happened to me at 12 years old. And I'm proud of her for doing it, and I would be damned if I didn't step up and also hold my accuser accountable for what they did to me. And I don't know, we'll see what happens, but nobody in life should ever have to be in a position where they feel guilty for holding someone accountable that has hurt them, because it's not fair. It's not fair to put that on a kid, and it's not fair to put that on anyone. And I don't know what it is with these people that hurt other people like that. There's so many people in this world that will let you touch them, that will let you, like, people are attracted to people. Like, nobody's too ugly, nobody's too fat, nobody's too this or too that. People will love you for who you are. And if you have to be a predator, and if you have to prey on innocent young people, especially in our cases, this person was 6 years old, okay? This person was 6 years old. What kind of shit is that? Like, it just baffles my mind that, like, people can hurt people so young. Like, it makes me so scared. That's why I said I don't leave my kids anywhere that I don't have to. Like, I've left my kids maybe once or twice with other family members, specifically a girl, probably one time in an emergency, and that's like the only time I've ever left my kids with anyone other than my in-laws or my mom. And I really, maybe I'm mistaking, but honestly that's the only times I can remember leaving my kids with anyone, because I don't trust anybody, and I will never put my kids in a situation where they could be hurt ever. And I tell my son to scream bloody murder or to do whatever he can to scare anybody away that's trying to hurt him. And I'm real with them because it's a reality. I've heard of people in my family getting hurt as young as 3-4 years old, and as old as recently somebody told me that a couple years ago their father-in-law tried to touch them, and this person's my age, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, what is it? Like, why? And honestly, I think it's just, I don't know what it is, because I'm not in their mentality, I'm not in their mind, but I think that when people don't have love in their hearts and don't realize what they're doing, they're willing to hurt anyone to feel some type of, I don't know what it is that they want to feel. Control, power, I don't know. But I just want to let you know that if you have ever gone through this, if you have ever been touched or molested or sexually harassed, and I've also been sexually harassed and sexually disgusted, like by even like people that I work with in power. I worked for a doctor, and he was just gross. He thought like he was the fucking player of the world, or the player of Modesto, I don't know. But he was sexually harassed me, and I ended up getting let go because it came up, and instead of me feeling like somebody was there for me, I felt like somebody let me go because I was a problem. And that sucked so bad, because I did nothing wrong. I never ever asked to be sitting at my desk and to be texted by this doctor to tell me I'm so pretty. Oh, you're so pretty today. Why the hell do I need any type of compliment from you? You know I'm married, I have kids. Why would you make me feel uncomfortable? And then I have to sit there and stand there with you while you're operating or doing a procedure on someone's face, and I'm right next to you knowing damn well that you feel this type of way. It's just, I don't know what it is, but some people just don't realize what they're doing and how it affects people for the rest of their lives. So the next time you feel like smacking someone's ass in the hallway or doing something inappropriate because you think it'll be funny, rethink what you're doing, because you have no idea how it affects people. And also, like I said before, protect your kids. Don't leave your kids with anyone. Don't just leave your kids with your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, your anyone because, oh, it's family. No, like usually 95% of people that I know that have been molested has been by a family member. It's never someone that just came into their house and broke in and touched them. It's always a family member. So please don't be too comfortable with your surroundings and with the people around you. Don't bring people in to live on your couch. Don't put yourself in a situation where you think this person could never do that. Anybody is capable of doing it. A girl, a guy, your friend, anyone can do this to anybody around you. So just protect yourselves. That's the number one thing I can say is always be aware. And I'm not saying to not trust people, but don't trust people so easily that you don't realize what's going on. And pay attention to your kids. If they're telling you something, it's because something's going on. If they accuse someone, don't tell them that it's not true. Always believe your kids. Always protect them, and just be there for them, you know. And thank God my mom was there for me. Thank God my sister has been there for me. My the people that in my family that have been hurt thank God that I could be there for them to kind of make them feel like they're not alone. But there's a lot of people that are alone, and those people need people. And please, if you have gone through this, speak to someone. If you don't want to come forward and say to the police, then that's your personal choice. But talk to someone, a therapist, a pastor, anybody that you can find that you think you can confide in, that you feel comfortable with. Not someone you don't feel comfortable with. Somebody that's comfortable, even if it's a friend, your sibling, anybody. Just talk to someone. Don't live with this inside of you. Don't let it eat you alive, because it will. I promise it will. And also, I know that it's not the easiest thing to do, and it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of God's strength, but you have to forgive, because until you forgive, you can let it go. And once you let it go, you can begin to heal. And once you heal, you can breathe and you can live again, and you can not let it consume your life. So there will be a second part to this video, but this video has gotten very long, so there will be a part 2, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, in the meantime, just know, personally, I'm okay. I have all the resources that I need to keep getting through this, even though this person is a coward and refuses to be held accountable. God knows the truth. God will take care of all the things that need to be taken care of, and ultimately I can live peacefully knowing that I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to fabricate anything. And if you want to be in denial, that's on you. I don't give a shit, because I'm happy and I'm okay, and you're not happy. How can you be happy destroying your daughter's life? So at the end of the day, I'm good. I have a wonderful husband that supports me, and a good family that's always there for me. So don't worry about me. I'm good. I worry more about other people that haven't said anything. That really worries me a lot. So yeah, I don't want to say if you like this video, like it. No. If you can relate, or if you understand, or if you, whatever you feel, you know, just be there for someone else is all I ask for. Yeah, and also be a good person. That's all I ask for too. So I'll see you guys in part 2. Take care, and yeah, love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.